Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Stevie Wonder? Is that right?
Jackson 5?
Okay. Okay.
Sounds like the Jackson 5. Are you kidding me?
It's Stevie Wonder. There's a reason we're playing this. Jackson 5.
Hey.
All right. It is Thursday, and all of our guests today, including Farhan Lalji standing by, are brought to you by the Vancouver Giants. Giants just announced their home opener. It's going to be Friday, September 20th against Seattle. Rick, it's a 7 p.m. puck drop. Season ticket packages are now on sale. All season ticket packages include access to WHL Live, so you never miss a game, as well as the first 2 home playoff games, plus flexible payment plans are available with no additional costs. For more info, email sales@vancouvergiants.com or call 604-4-GIANTS. It's Farhan's birthday.
Oh,
that's why we were playing that song.
Is he 67 or 91? What is he?
39. Always. The old Jack Benny line.
56.
56?
56, boys. 56.
So 68.
You remember that, Donnie, right? It was a while ago.
Stop. You know what? I was just going to give you a compliment about how good you look, and now you go there.
You, Donnie. Are you kidding? If I look as good as you at your age, holy cow.
Yeah, okay. Okay, you made up for it there. Happy birthday,
Rick,
buddy.
Thanks, guys. Rick, I hear you're dropping the puck, the first puck. You're doing it at the Giants opener. Finally convinced you.
No. That's not for that. The Hall of Famer is going to drop the puck.
How desperate would Toigo have to be for us? Have Rick drop any one of us,
including you,
dropping the puck,
including me, especially me.
So you're in Toronto and you're doing the panel tonight. CFL season opens tonight. The regular season opens tonight. Grey Cup rematch, Montreal at Winnipeg. Farhan, what can you tell us? And there's a lot of positive signs about the health of the CFL these days.
Yeah, I mean, I think the league's in a good place, as good as it's been in some time. And a lot of that has to do with ownership, right? You've got 2 franchises in major markets in BC and Montreal that have turned around their ownership situation in the last couple of years. And that's a big thing. So, and Edmonton, which has been a flagship franchise, they're going to have a significant ownership change, which is really going to improve the health of that franchise. They just need the hockey team to lose now so people can pay attention. They got their 75th anniversary celebrations coming up on the season opener. And sure enough, they're losing all the oxygen. But I think it's good. I think what you see happening in BC, with 55,000 that are going to be there for the home opener, and then the Grey Cup, which has already surpassed 4,000 ticket sales. I think the league feeds off that energy. Everybody feels it. Everybody's excited about it. We just made an announcement today that the Grey Cup and a bunch of playoff games and regular season games aren't just going to be on TSN, but also CTV, which excites people. So I think when you look at the viewership numbers and how things improved last year within the right demos, I think everything's trending in a good direction.
Farhan, Vernon Adams is listed at number 3 on the TSN's top 50 CFL players list. I don't believe he made that list last year. Milt Stegall talking about he may be the most important player in the league, most important to his franchise. Do you agree with all of that?
Yeah, I think it's true. I think it's fair. I mean, you look at Winnipeg, for example, and as good as they are, and as good as Zach Caleros is, there's other pieces there that are a little more established that also can feed off one another. And they've also got, an exceptional offensive line, whereas with BC, there's going to be some turnover on the offensive side of the ball because they've lost Keon Hatcher for half a season, and Dom Rhymes and Lucky Whitehead won't be with them this year. So there's some transition, right? And their offensive line isn't necessarily as established or as pedigreed as Winnipeg's, and they've got some changes as well. So the Lions, who everybody still believes are going to find a way to have offensive success, I think the biggest reason for that confidence and that belief is because of Vernon Adams. So I think Milt's right. I think he is as important a player, if not the most important player, to his team in the league. Milt says he's going to win the MOP, says the Lions are going to win the Grey Cup, and he'll be the Grey Cup game MVP. And I'm heading that way. I know Rick doesn't believe me, but I'm heading that way.
No, you're the biggest Winnipeg Blue Bomber fan from here to Newfoundland.
Are you going to ask him for his Grey Cup prediction?
No, I don't care about
this. This might be the day to do it.
I don't care about his Grey Cup predictions because I already know what they are. Winnipeg. Okay, listen.
All right.
Speaking of the Grey Cup, 40,000 tickets sold in this city in just over a day. Vancouver, Montreal, and Toronto get the bad rap. You know, CFL's big in the prairies. Nobody cares in Vancouver. Nobody cares in Toronto. Nobody cares in Montreal. To me, people care. 40,000 tickets in just over a day. That's remarkable because Donnie and I and you know previous Grey Cups in this city had trouble selling right up to the final week of the big game. And this number is more impressive knowing that the BC Lions are not in the championship game, and yet they've sold this many. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think you're totally right, Rick. And I remember the 2011 Grey Cup was kind of a high watermark, right? But there have been others on either side of that just haven't been as well received or well attended. And for the CFL, I think it was, they've made note of the fact that we wanted to get back here after 10 years. And I think that 10 years has really whetted the appetite of people in the marketplace. And, on top of that, ownership's in a great place. This isn't just about the Grey Cup, guys. Like the Grey Cup Festival, and you guys have seen the plans. This is going to be the best Grey Cup week ever, right? Like it's like that because the events that they've got going on, from the parties to the zip lining to all the activations, they are doing this right. They're doing this, with an understanding that you've got to spend money to make money. So, what Amar Doman and the league have done with that Grey Cup committee, it's fantastic. So I truly believe this because, so often you go to a Grey Cup and it's so dependent on the home team being in it. And then if you get bad weather, which in most other parts of the country you're likely to get, the outside stuff just isn't the same. So this is going to be a fantastic, fantastic week, regardless of whether or not the Lions are in it. And if they are, it's just going to put it over the top.
All right, the Canucks, some coaching changes. Yogi Sevskoski in as assistant coach. Sedin twins more responsibility. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it feels like there probably needs to be some additional pieces to this, right? Understand that I think you reported earlier, Rick, that Adam Foote's going to take over the penalty kill in place of Mike Yeo, so they're not adding to the staff to make that happen. We don't know really if the Sedins are all of a sudden going to be singularly responsible for the power play and are going to travel like regular assistant coaches. Doesn't sound like it because they've also got to roll with Abbotsford on the development side. So, I'm not going to say cheap, but it just feels like, this is their time to strike while the iron is hot. There's no salary cap associated with coaches. So, I'd like to see them add one more. And we don't know that they're done yet, but, we'll see, because I think Mike Yeo did some yeoman's work with that penalty kill, and hopefully that can continue to trend in the right direction. But more importantly, they've got to figure out this power play, because it wasn't just a playoff problem. It was a half-season problem. And with that much talent, it just shouldn't be the case.
Panthers, Oilers, what happens? And if the Oilers win the Stanley Cup, what does that say about the Canucks?
Well, I think regardless, just the Oilers being in it, it says a lot about the Canucks, because Vancouver was right there and certainly were in position to win that series. Just because Edmonton beats Dallas, I don't know that Edmonton would, or that Vancouver would have gone on to beat Dallas, but certainly the Canucks are in a good place. And as much as that, momentum coming off the season, finally some success for some players that had been starved for it, and now you got a ton of salary cap flexibility, right? So, we know what happened after the last time they made the playoffs in the bubble in terms of how they handled the offseason, and it wasn't good. Circumstances were different because of the pandemic, but here they've got to get this right because they're in a perfect position. And as far as that series is concerned, I like Florida. They've been there. They were there last year. This is their chance to get it right. It's rare to kind of get to back-to-backs. We've seen Tampa do it, but many other teams have struggled to do it. So I think this is Florida's time. But, you have to believe at some point, and whether you like Edmonton or not, and I can't tell you that I do, you do want McDavid and Draisaitl at some point to win a Stanley Cup. I don't know that happens this year, but it just seems like it's only a matter of time as long as they stay together. But I think Florida finds a way to hoist the cup at the end of all of this.
Yeah, so many people are picking the Panthers to win the Stanley Cup this time around. Farhan, happy birthday, my friend.
Yes.
And thanks so much for joining us. Making time for
Thanks, guys. There you go. Watch the panel tonight. It'll be fun.
Beautiful. Thanks, Farhan. Appreciate it.